Yesterday, Bitcoin has seen an enormous rejection from this exact downward sloping resist line we have discussed in the previous video. But on today's video, I will be exactly explaining about why we did got this rejection towards the downside, what are the price targets right now, what is happening with the US government sending over $2 billion to two unknown addresses. I will be exactly explaining what this means right now for the Bitcoin price action, and of course I will be talking about the most important support levels, the most important charts we need to be paying attention towards, including the Bitcoin spot ETF data and many more important stuff I will be discussing on today's update video. So don't forget to once again slap that like button back above 1,000 likes. It will be highly appreciated. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards the content and let me straight away discuss why the Bitcoin saw this massive rejection from all the way up to $70,000 all the way down to $66,000 for Bitcoin. So first of all, yesterday we were retesting this very important downward sloping resist line, and like you can see in the previous video from yesterday, I discussed this exact level as the most important resistance level for Bitcoin to be breaking above of. And clearly we got rejected by this level, and I don't necessarily see this as a bad thing here. And while it seems like a big deal that Bitcoin comes down from $70,000 all the way down to $66,000, if you're just looking at this trend, we are still in a healthy uptrend, and Bitcoin is currently just still performing in higher low. And we're just seeing that Bitcoin is actually retesting this very important upward sloping support line we have actually bounced from for already more than 4 times in a row. So maybe we could start to create somewhat of a compression pattern right now on Bitcoin, with the downward sloping resistance line on the top side, the upward sloping support line on the lower side. So yeah, we're expecting a big breakout is going to be happening anytime soon. And also we're expecting that big support for Bitcoin is going to be found on this level right here. Not only because we're hanging on the upward sloping support line, but also since this level where we're currently hanging around is significant previous resistance, then flipped into support, and now once again is going to get retested as support. So this level is actually quite interesting in my opinion. But let me go in towards the reasons why we actually had that big drop off yesterday in price. And the big reason why that did happen was due to the fact that the US government sold or has sent over $2 billion of Bitcoin worth to two addresses. And the Arkham Twitter page is saying that they believe that the 10,000 Bitcoin deposit is towards an institutional custodian service. So that is extremely bullish. And of course, they are on-chain analysts, and they think that, oh, the Bitcoins that they sent is of course Bitcoins they're going to be holding into their own custodian. So this is very big news here. So the US government is likely deposited 10,000 Bitcoins worth approximately $660 million at this moment of time. And is this maybe a response from the Democrats to the things that Donald Trump has said in its previous Bitcoin conference on Bitcoin 2024 in Nashville? I mean, this could be very well be a reaction from the current administration to show that the Democrats are also not going to be bearish anymore on crypto and are going to be embracing crypto. So this could be overall a good thing on the market. But even though this happened, the market saw a strong rejection towards the downside. Well, in fact, this is actually a good development what we're currently seeing. So with that in our back of our minds, this could potentially be an enormous opportunity to, of course, accumulate more Bitcoin. And while the trend is actually still looking quite strong for Bitcoin, because if we're looking at the Bitcoin price action right now, we can clearly see we are clearly trading in an uptrend and we're trying to be breaking higher. Only we saw that rejection from that downward sloping resist line right now here. But to get rejected the first few tries, once you're trying to be breaking above such an important level, is only more than likely to be happening for Bitcoin. So I am not necessarily really worried about this small rejection that we're currently getting, as long as we're not breaking below that $63,000 level, which is that middle range here on this consolidation phase. I think everything is looking actually quite okay. And you can see it here on this larger time frame consolidation. As long as we're not breaking below that middle range here, which is laying around $63,000, there is nothing to be worried about here. So yesterday as well, if we're going to be looking at the data, we saw $124 million worth of Bitcoin getting bought again through the US spot Bitcoin ETF, and still the majority of the liquidity is laying around that $72,000 level, but there's even more liquidity being built up right now here above $71,000 to $70,000 to be exact, and approximately $6 billion of worth of Bitcoin short liquidations are also laying there right now here. So more and more Bitcoin short liquidations are getting built above us. So as more liquidity is being built up above us, the chances of Bitcoin actually breaking higher are only going to be bigger and bigger. So what we're seeing right now is a sniper retracement. I'm going to be holding my trade open since I am very much convinced we are going to be bouncing back up here. Guys, I'm currently $330,000 in profit. I mean, first of all, I was in 410K, but of course, I've not reached my target yet here. And I still believe we're going to be pushing higher to reach ultimately my price target of this exact trade here. So if you want to be joining me with my trade, or if you want to be opening up a trade yourself, if you're interested in that, make sure to go to the highest link of the description of today's video, because if you press on this link right here, you will come to this page and you can claim a free $500 airdrop position on Bybit. So if you're interested in trading, make sure to go to that link, because then you can claim a free $500 trade, and otherwise you cannot. So make sure to check it out in the link description of today's video, and let me continue with the content. So currently, Bitcoin is in an enormous large consolidation phase, and we have seen this many times before in the history of Bitcoin. I mean, for example, in 2023, we saw this consolidation phase last over 217 days here. And now the consolidation phase where we're currently in is consolidating sideways for an approximately 156 days so far here. So yeah, we could definitely see another 50 days of sideways consolidation, which would be ultimately very boring for Bitcoin, but this is still definitely a possibility that could be playing out for Bitcoin. And I mean, as long as we're not breaking the downward sloping resistance line, we are not going to be pushing up towards new highs here. This is very crucial to understand. This is the most important resistance to be breaking above of, and as soon as we can confirm that daily candle above this level right here, that is the point where we're going to be seeing that next push up higher. But I do ultimately believe that currently we are in that bull market stage here. Just moments after the halving, we have seen that sideways consolidation like we have seen in every single cycle. And now the stage is where we are going to be pushing higher. So I'm very convinced we are going to be going higher ultimately. But guys, this was it for me in today's update video. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.